What's up guys, Seth Spartan here. We just got out of the gym and this video is about to go viral in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. All right guys, so where do we start with this? Well, before we make the Tren twins look like a bunch of babies, and the Tren twins will have to rename their name to the Apple Juice Boys, the Apple Juice Twins after this video. But before we do that, guys, I work for a testosterone and hormone replacement clinic, testosterone HGH replacement clinic. So I need to be careful how I say certain things, okay? The purpose of this video is so that everybody, in a perfect world, everybody watching this very video will never use Trenbolone in their life, whether they live in a country where it's completely legal or if they live in a country where it's illegal. That's my point. Now let's dive into this story. So having said that, right before we begin story time right now, I'm gonna tell you guys this. This story may be fact or it may be fiction, all right? When I was in my early 20s, okay? I'm 28 right now, okay? TRT, 250 milligrams of testosterone cypionate per week with HGH replacement. But when I was in my early 20s, okay, I had the desire, I had the extreme quest for knowledge, bringing the human body to the absolute peak. How far can I take this thing? Okay, and I was frustrated, just frustrated with my genetics. I could get big, I could get strong, I could get jacked, but the issue I found was that I could not get absolutely just bone dry, peeled, shredded, just freak bodybuilder look, okay, that we see on stage with some of these guys at the Olympia and also in the 90s, okay? So what I wanted to do is, for myself, you know, this video, okay, nobody has taken the amount of Trenbolone that I'm about to talk about in this video. I've probably taken more Trenbolone acetate, more Trenbolone than any person has on planet Earth, okay? Most likely, okay? All right, so let's start this video. So there was a point where I wanted to push the envelope. I wanted to see, what can I do with my God-given genetics? What can I do with my body? So, all right, to begin our story, this fact or fiction story, okay? If you guys don't know this, well, some people might know this, but when I was in my early 20s, I was living in Wisconsin, all right? It's not too far from Canada. And for those of you that have crossed into Canada, all you need is a driver's license, all right? You can go right across the border, no big deal. Now, having said that, what is so great about Canada? In Canada, pretty much everything's legal depending on what place in Canada you go to, okay? There's crazy things like heroin, fentanyl, crack. A lot of this stuff is maybe not legal, maybe I'm using the wrong term, decriminalized. They don't care, okay? That you can do whatever you want basically in Canada depending on what it is. All right, so it's very easy to get really, really good stuff. All right, so having said that, and maybe that's why Bumstead likes it. So having said that, and they also have access to testing labs where you can send your stuff to make sure you're using legitimate stuff. And they do this as, harm reduction, right? What I decided to do was switch from using I decided to switch from 2,000 milligrams of testosterone cypionate or enanthate. I don't remember which kind it was, but I decided to switch from testosterone cypionate or enanthate, 2,000 milligrams per week, to 2,100 milligrams of Trenbolone acetate per week. Okay, and this stuff was tested. It was legitimate. That's probably the scariest part of this video. So what happened was, I began this experiment, this Canadian experiment, okay? And during my travels, this is what I did. 2,100 milligrams Trenbolone acetate for 8 weeks. 8 weeks. Now, I'm going to tell you guys this, and stick around, because the health side effects, the health effects and everything that happened is absolutely out of this world insane. And this is why I'm telling you guys, do not touch this stuff, not even a milligram. Don't even touch a milligram of it. And I'm going to explain why, and I'm going to explain how it kills brain cells, and I'm going to explain the side effects that I still have, like, 8, 9, 7, 6, whatever years later it's been, okay? And this is a warning message for your health. Don't touch this stuff, and I'm going to explain why. So, 2,100 milligrams Trenbolone acetate per week for 8 weeks. Now, I am not a genetically, there's so much stuff to tell you guys. I'm going to try to sum this up. I began this experiment, and what happened? I am not a genetically lean person. I am, like I said, I put on size grade, I'm strong. When I started this, my strength, especially the first 5 reps, went through the absolute roof. I got just insanely strong, insane strength, okay? From using this stuff. That's the first thing. The second thing is that my body basically, I could not eat enough. My body basically was eating itself due to the extreme level of anabolism, okay? Just because I was slamming every androgen receptor I had in my body with Trenbolone, 5 times as potent as testosterone. The demand is grow. I couldn't take in enough nutrients, not enough protein. My body was basically forced into a state of, what do they call it? Autophagy, autophagy, whatever. It's basically where your body eats its own dead cells and uses your body's own cells to create new tissue. Well, what I believe I was doing is I was literally not only eating the tissue I didn't need, but eating even my existing muscle tissue. Okay, what do I mean by that? After doing this, I was doing this. Not only did I lose the ability to sleep, and I had a doctor that was giving me tranquilizers and Ambien and all this crazy stuff. Not only did I completely lose the ability to sleep, so I couldn't sleep without tranquilizers and heavy medication, and I couldn't sleep for like more than 4 hours a night. But nevertheless, my stupid self continued this, okay? We continued this journey, and what happened was my body basically ate itself, and I looked so freaky. People say that, your diet and your genetics and all this, then, steroids don't work unless you do everything else, and you can't override your genetics with steroids. That's a bunch of garbage. That's not true. At 2,100 milligrams of Trenbolone acetate, I overrode my genetics. I had tried before to get just shredded glutes. I couldn't get them with all the other stuff I did, even DNP. I could not get these bone shredded, crazy looking glutes. I couldn't get it even on DNP. On 2,100 milligrams of Trenbolone acetate, I completely blew my genetics apart, and I got shredded glutes to the point where I could turn around and stick my finger into the shreds between the glutes. I could put my finger in there. It's disgusting. And I am thankful. I am glad that the phone I was using got smashed, broke, that I cannot, that I don't have these pictures anymore, because there'd be some crazy people that would be inclined to replicate this, okay? So, long story short, I lost the ability to sleep. My body was eating itself alive. The third thing was I was unable to be happy whatsoever. My dopamine, serotonin, everything was so screwed up where I was just continually in a state of half anxiety, depression, just like I couldn't be happy no matter what. And later on, after all this was, and people want to ask about my blood pressure. I don't know what it is, if I am just genetically superior in terms of this, but I didn't get my blood pressure stayed normal. Maybe because I was doing basically meat only, very low carb or no carb. My blood pressure basically stayed fine while I was doing this madness. However, if I did 2,000 milligrams of testosterone, if I did 2,000 milligrams of testosterone and enanthate or cypionate a week, my blood pressure would be shooting up, but that was with carbs. So, you know, can I just say that I am genetically gifted in the fact that my body didn't kill me with blood pressure? Yeah, I can say that. Having said all of that, what else? Blood pressure, did I have any heart or what else? Heart or toxicity in any of my organs? No, nothing like that. Liver fine, kidneys were fine, everything was fine, blood pressure fine. But the big issue I had, and I didn't notice it until after this experiment was over. Like I said, the immediate thing was that I got so shredded that I've never gotten. I've overrode my genetics using this. Not only get bone shredded, not only get so freaky and disgusting, my body eating itself and the insomnia and everything else I discussed, but what I noticed was after, even with all that stuff out of my system and going off and going on TRT, you know, 200, 250, my sleep is permanently changed. Even now, my sleep has not gone back to the way it was before. Okay, so I still, my sleep is permanently changed from this, and that's not even the worst part. The worst part of this whole thing that is affecting me today, guys, is that my memory is different. Okay, I have holes in my memory long term where I can't remember things, and even short term sometimes, which is kind of scary. I'll be doing something and I'll forget exactly what, sometimes I'll forget what in the world, I'll have a Joe Biden moment, okay? I don't want to get into politics here, but I literally have a senior citizen moment where sometimes I'm doing something, I'm like, you know, just out of nowhere, and it is actually concerning and scary because usually I pop to in, you know, 5-10 seconds, but it is concerning. So both my long-term memory has holes and my short-term memory has holes. I can still remember everything else, you know. Usually I'm really sharp, you know, I've written 2 books, everything is good, but sometimes short-term and long-term I've done damage. And now going forward, I've covered this in my video, Trenbolone Unleashed, an hour on Trenbolone, everything broken down, and Derek from More Plates, More Dates has also covered this in his Trenbolone. Basically what we know is this: Trenbolone directly, not indirectly, Trenbolone directly kills brain cells, notably in the hippocampus. The hippocampus is responsible for maintaining your memory and memory formation. Okay, it's that caterpillar looking thing in the center of your brain. Now, why does Trenbolone do this? Basically because the Trenbolone molecule itself trips these neurons, these cells, to kill themselves. It's called apoptosis. Derek's covered this at length. Go watch his video or go watch my video, Trenbolone Unleashed. So, you know, do I have any long-term? And I might have, you know, maybe I have other things that have been damaged long-term that I'm not aware of, but my sleep is permanently changed, and my memory, my brain has been permanently changed. And even if you're saying, you know, even if you're one of these Tren boys, these Tren twins that are doing small amounts of Tren, they're throwing it in there, they're getting great results, blah, blah, blah. Guys, this anabolic is made, is given to cattle and animals to beef them up and lean them out before they slaughter them. Okay, this stuff is not good for humans, all right, obviously. And secondly, there's a reason this was never approved for human use, and this is most likely why, because they found out that this destroys your brain. Okay, so here's my thing to you: whether it was me using Trenbolone acetate 2,100 milligrams for 8 weeks and then that's it, or whether it's you doing 100 or 200 milligrams for, you know, 6 months, a year, do you really want to put something in your body that is killing your brain cells? That, by the way, you need these. You need these. If it has to do with your heart or your brain, don't touch it. Just don't even touch this stuff. okay? Okay? Because the thing is that at any dosage, Trenbolone is triggering apoptosis in the brain. At any dosage, Trenbolone is killing cells in the hippocampus that you need for your memory, okay? And you can trigger Alzheimer's and dementia by Trenbolone. And as me, a 28-year-old who's, you know, I've done damage, you know, usually I'm sharp, but I have these problems long-term and short-term. Man, I honestly think I'm gonna get a brain scan because I really want to stay on top of this thing. But you know, I'm sharp. Usually I'm sharp as can be, even though I've had a gazillion even though I've had quite a few concussions from like wakeboarding and, you know, all this other stuff I did. I used to play rugby, but even though, like, you know, usually I'm sharp as nails mentally, I have these scary moments, short term where I can't remember stuff, and also long term. I have literal holes in my memory where I can't remember anything. Okay, so anyways, guys, set Spartans, stay safe, stay healthy. This is the Trenbolone video, 2,100 milligrams per week. We're out of here.